Are we rolling, Nick?
Yep.
Okay, buildings and grounds, 7:32. Rich?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll make this short and sweet. Okay, varsity softball field, there has been talk for a few months now of the scoreboard for the field one. We are getting preliminary cost figures for that to happen. We are going to cut down some of the expense by running the electrical in-house, so once they place the support poles in the designated area in the outfield behind the fence, we will go ahead and internally trench and go ahead and get that connected to the specs that the scoreboard company requires for that power, and then we should be good to go.
The booster, or the Riverside Alumni Association has donated, or is working to donate $3,500. They would like a permanent sign below it just saying part of this paid for by the Alumni Association. So we're meeting with them at their next meeting to kind of finalize that and secure that donation. The rest of the scoreboard, we updated the board at the Friday packet. Nick is kind of taking the lead on working with them because it is an advertising board. It's a prime location for advertisements that are up there, so we are working to kind of see what that would cost to kind of get some of the payback for it. But it's a pretty low cost overall. I think the overall installation was $11,000 to install, but that includes the poles. So we have to have the poles put in the ground, all of that. We'll have the wiring up to it, and then about a $10,000 board. So in terms of where we're at, it's very cost effective, and we should probably do it.
So
Our
we have,
baseball scoreboard, our baseball field has a scoreboard.
yeah, basically 21,000, we're getting 3,500 donated by the Alumni Association and then be selling advertising.
We can either sell we can sell advertisements just off they'll be panels, just like very similar to the football stadium scoreboard. Not as many advertising panels, but some opportunities there.
And I think the last time we talked about it, was it the company selling the advertising or would we be selling?
Well, we can do either way. So when they did the football scoreboard many years ago, before all of us were here, they did all the ads. They controlled everything, but that's because that scoreboard at that time, 10, 15 years ago, was way more than this. So they needed help, and we were also in a much different financial position. Because this cost is way lower than any of us anticipated, my recommendation is that we would just handle that ourselves. We would pay it up front, and then we would go out and get the advertising.
And would you be handling most of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I already handle the banner sponsorships every year for our varsity athletic venues.
So as much as you know, or
To give you an idea, this year in banner sponsorships, we did 68,000 just this summer.
yeah.
So,
Well, thank you, Nick.
yeah.
I think for a local company, where that scoreboard will be located, if we target the right companies, it's prominent for every parent and student who drives in and off of that off the campus. It's going to get a lot of advertisements right there. We can even, instead of putting the booster or the Alumni Association below, we can work them into one of the ads as well, and just keep that as a permanent ad, so that would reduce some of the costs as well.
So because it's such a visible location, everyone, as you say, that pulls in sees it, are we able to sell advertising around it also?
It will have it'll have panels around it.
Around it, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So around it and under it.
So the draw up, it was a scoreboard and then like four panels underneath and 2 panels on the side.
Yeah.
That would be spacing for advertising. Kind of similar to what's on the football scoreboard. There's
I mean,
advertising.
it's a good idea. I think we'll end up making money on it.
That's the goal.
Yeah, so that's great.
So we'll reach out. We can reach out to some of our prominent or our larger sponsors, because obviously it would be more than a banner sponsorship and more than.
Yeah.
Are all those panels digital then?
They're not digital.
No? Okay, just the main scoreboard.
If you want digital, we're talking a
Oh.
whole different
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
That's so. I'm not going to lie. The digital scoreboard conversation will come when the field turf replacement comes, because I think we need to look at those options as well.
So this is why I was surprised with this quote that we got, because 2 years ago, we started kicking the tires on like a football video / digital scoreboard, and those quotes were well into the six figures.
Yeah.
So I was very pleasantly surprised with the quote that we ended up getting here.
I'm not knocking the digital because they're great, but I know down at Progressive Field and at the Captain's Stadium, sometimes you see weird things going on because they're not working.
You do have those issues with it.
So, okay, all right, thanks.
Okay, in past buildings and grounds, we discussed over the summer how we contracted Ciros to do our sanitary and storm sewer cleaning out and grease traps and stuff. When Ciros did Melridge storm sewers, they did find a storm sewer, the catch basin below the grate is collapsing. So they sent us a quote for $5,570 to fix it. I will be putting in a request for a purchase order to move forward with this. I bring this to everybody's attention because you will see at some point they will cut a 6 foot by 8 foot square out around the catch basin. They will remove all of the brick that was built for the catch basin. They will reestablish the lines. They will camera the lines to make sure that they are not filled with obstructions, and then they will backfill accordingly, and then they will go ahead and put everything back in place. We will then have a company I'm working on getting quotes currently to go ahead and either concrete or asphalt around the area that they did cut. They cut it, they do not replace the concrete or asphalt in it. So I'm just bringing it to everybody's attention, so if you see us creating a hole in the main lane alongside the curbs of Melridge, you know why. And I'm glad that they caught it, so we don't have any giant sinkholes that are eating buses with children on them, so.
And what's their cost?
$55.70.
55.
$5,570.
Cost to avoid giant children.
Considering the amount of work and what they're gonna be doing or replacing, it's a good price.
Is that in the bus lane right in front?
Yes, it is.
You know, I was involved in a condo parking lot where same thing happened. It was all collapsing. And even just driving over it, you could have $5,000 of damage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just one bus going over it and having damage could be a problem.
I don't want to.
Getting stuck.
No,
I don't want that phone call.
No,
No,
I don't think Kyle wants it either.
no.
okay.
Okay, a few weeks back, we did our biannual field turf cleaning, servicing, and testing. We did find in the repair that we had 6 tears in the turf that were repaired. And they did the GMX testing, which is the hardness testing. They did 11 tests throughout the field, along with 1 calibration testing. Everything has passed. I will say that the ASTM standards of 200 is where you get to that point, you need to take your turf up and redo the subsurface. Everything that we tested came in between 134 hardness up to 157 hardness. So you can see that we've reached about 3/4 of life of our subsurface on the turf. Again, that's why we're on a 2 to 3 year discussion of replacing the turf. But again, the report came back as the product is fair. So we're holding steady at fair for the last couple of years.
Do we have any kind of sinking fund or dollars outside of general fund that are being placed into that, or
We have
is this a
the cell
PI?
tower.
The cell tower dollars go into it?
Puts I think there's a couple $100,000 from revenue with the cell tower into the turf replacement fund.
So we've got a chunk of it.
We do. We also have our agreement with now Lake Health, or now UH, it used to be Lake Health, that is up at the end of next year, I believe. Or it's the
Late
end-
August.
We just looked at it, the August.
End of August next year.
End of August next year, so.
To renegotiate
So,
for,
yes, to look.
Well, renegotiate with them, or
We can renegotiate with them, or the contract itself says we start with them, if we can find somebody else, we have to bring it back to them to match, if they want to match.
And so I believe Don't we have $600,000 set aside?
We have, in the forecast, we have forecast in the past $600,000 of replacement.
And that's still, it's still there. Just wondered if we just wanted to make sure we were, it'd be nice not to be able to take that out of general fund.
Right.
You know,
And, well, we have that forecasted at PI, don't we?
yes.
Right, and then also, do we have any idea what the turf costs today? I think we were guessing
The last,
800,000.
Rich, the last estimate you had was what, 6?
6 to 8 pounds.
Right,
600,
600, and we were figuring 800,000 because prices will go up, right?
And that includes installation.
That includes installation, where it's gonna get dicey, and it's gonna be one of those, just like anything else, you don't know until you, like our track, we didn't know until we got into it. If that sub-base is compacted too much, then there's a whole process that could elevate the cost, but again, that's one of those, that's why we're doing the testing, so we kind of know where the surface is at, so there'll be some work that I'm sure they will figure in from the testing, but, yeah, I think we're looking at 600 to 800 as of today. You don't know what the market's gonna do.
Is that turf the kind that has the little pebbles in it,
Yes,
the
it
little
is.
black pebbles?
Yep.
And then we were thinking that if it's UH or whomever it may be, it would be about a $400,000. I mean, I know we were hoping for everything.
No, I don't know if it would be that much. Last time it was
230.
230 plus athletic trainers for the 10 years of the contract, which is a significant,
But that was a number of years ago, right?
that was,
It was
10 years ago.
So-
Yeah, so I
so
mean, that could
in
equate
theory-
to 350 to 400.
We would hope for that, and the training services are invaluable as well.
Yeah. So anyway, Steve, that's what we're looking at, and, I mean, obviously, there's some money allocated for that, but we're hoping not to have to spend all of that.
And then we'll do our second of 2 services in mid-October to the field, which they will get a little bit more aggressive with the turf and low spots. And they're also going to drag a magnet over the top of it to pull any metals that may be embedded into the turf or the pebbles as part of the service. So that'll be the second of 2 for the year, and then we'll be good to go for the spring, which will, again, attack it before we kick off the school year.
That's impressive considering all the use that that turf does get. I mean, they are on it all weekend and every single night after school and in the spring. I would almost argue in the spring it's used even more than it is in the fall.
Well, it's certainly used, which is a good thing. Yeah.
What does that subsurface consist of?
Sand
Sand?
and silica, and then there's a web of drainage that is underneath it as well.
Okay.
All right, back to the Parkside Riverview boiler saga that continues in my life, that keeps me up at night. So, we have 2 more heat exchangers that are down. We had a meeting of the minds last week with GEM HVAC, who we have contracted with them to do preventative maintenance and assist us with repairs at Parkside and Riverview. And not only that, but if we have anything above and beyond our staff's capabilities throughout the district. We also met with Roberts Mechanical, which is the distributor of RBI boilers for this area in the United States, because RBI is a Canadian manufacturing company. We are currently gnashing of teeth and yelling and pointing fingers at each other as to who's responsible for what, and I'm still waiting for answers. I will say that GEM has been a big help in the last 7 days in getting some information to me. Once we get more information, I will make sure to share that with Mr. Thompson and Mr. Rotino, and then with the board. I do not want to give anything that is not accurate until I have it completely solidified as to what the issues are ongoing. I have given the go-ahead that we need to order the heat exchangers immediately. I know it's going to be a cost to the district. However, we cannot be down without boilers in our schools. I do not want to make that call to anybody that we don't have heat. GEM has gone ahead and they are going to prepay for the heat exchangers so we can get them immediately where there's no holdup. And they are also working on getting us some very, very deep discount in pricing. At which point I'm hoping this turns out from deep discount to, hey, it's free. But that's yet to be determined. So I just want to give everybody an update that we are frantically working behind the scenes to make sure that we get things fixed. up and running and ready for the heating season so we don't have any hiccups when the snow starts to fly.
Yeah, this is, how many now?
This will make 4, and we potentially have a 5th one going.
So, I know I've said this before, but this just magnifies the importance of building and constructing properly, and the value of Roger, our owner's rep. You know, having ordered things from Canada where you have this sort of a problem. The roofing company, when we had a problem last time, they were based in Indiana. So it just shows that when you're building, there's a lot of I's to be dotted, T's to be crossed, and when you have someone protecting the district's interests, things like this might not happen. So thanks for all your work on it. It's a real headache, and my goodness, and as you said, you're looking at possibly, if things went badly enough, no heat in the winter in a building or something. I mean, it's a high-risk situation, and so.
That's why in the meeting last week, I made it very well known that the heat exchangers needed to be delivered ASAP. I wasn't going to wait. I understand the cost is above and beyond what I can do, but at this point, I just made the call because I'm not going to sit here and tell all of you that I stopped doing something because it was going to cost us $80,000, because I can't wait.
Thank you for that. And the other thing on that, Rich, if you ever run into a situation like that, you need approval, I'm more than happy to call a board meeting. You know, you need a 2-day notice, and 2 days later, we could have a board meeting and approve it.
All right.
Okay,
So that's where we stand on that. Again, I'm looking for more deep answers as to, there's a lot of players in this that I'm feeling are very responsible. First and foremost, since it's not falling on the district, we did not drop the ball at any point. I think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered that I want answers to, and I think we will get those within the coming weeks.
do we know if their heat exchangers everywhere are failing? I mean, they're still in business, so do we know?
It's a complicated situation, Scott, with, it could be how it was programmed in the manufacturing setup. It could be how it was programmed when it was installed that has nothing to do with us. It could be something in the way the piping is done. It could be the components that assist the boilers that may be inadequate, undersized. So before I give anything, specific, I don't want to speak out of turn, but those are questions that I need answered, and I'm working with Jem to get those answers
All right,
as
great.
quickly as possible.
Thank you.
CTE in Riverview, they are going up. They're up. I believe both roofs are on. Riverview, they should be getting their stairs this week to the second floor. Floor is in the Commons in the bistro. That was done last weekend here at CTE building. They're getting the electrical done. Windows are coming. And I believe mid-October, the parking lot surface at Riverview should be going in. And then we are having conversations on our construction meetings about when we will be doing the sanitary tie-in here at the CTE building. It may disrupt our busing for a day or two, it may not. We're still scratching our heads on that one to see how that goes.
All right.
Just a little update on Buckeye. Everything is getting ready to go for zoning approval. That should be going by the end of this week, early next week. After that, other approvals should be coming in shortly after that, and we're going to start some preliminary detention area cleanup back in the woods, and so we're going to get that okayed to go and get him moving on that. And once that is done, we can have the surveyors come in and just lay out exactly where this is going to go and work towards that.
So, I know that I had the opportunity to speak with the homeowners that are at the back end of the property you have regular fencing and then a drop down like a half fence and then no fence. I think they live in the property with no fence. And I know that I had the opportunity to talk with them about things that are going on there and what it would look like. When you were over there, did they come over and talk with you?
She did, and then her husband came over as we were talking, and fortunately for them, nothing as far as they're concerned is going to be affected. They're still going to have their view of the woods. They don't want a fence. So they kind of were fortunate. Perhaps maybe potential wetland area is close to them, so we're not going to disturb that. So they're very satisfied with where things are going.
Yeah, I know that when I was over there, boy, I don't know, a month and a half ago or whenever it was, might have been 2 months ago, they had come over and engaged me, and they said the same thing, that they liked their view, they didn't want a fence there.
Yeah, so she's all good now. She's all
Okay.
good. One more item there that affects the playground. I thought we were going to be able to save the swing set, but probably not, because they're going to have to replace an existing 10-inch storm line with a 15-inch storm line, so that's going to be cutting through that area. So with that being the case, and I know they're going to have some kind of playground equipment while this is going on, so through this consortium, we're going to join on playground equipment. Can we look in to see what another swing set would be, and then that large play set that was put in a few years ago, what it would cost to replace that if we can buy through that consortium, and then we'll have to determine where we can put those that'll stay out of the way of construction. So that'll be kind of an ongoing juggling act.
Do you know where those could be put so they could be permanent, or?
They would probably be placed somewhere north of the 90s edition, towards the edge of the property there, because the rest of that is going to get, some disturbance.
Yeah. Do you know where that pipe goes?
The pipe goes from the building through the courtyard area, over to the ball field, and then back into the woods to an outlet which exits into the 44 right away.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Anything else?
No, sir.
It's a wrap. Thank you for coming. Have a great day.